we open with a moment of prayer. Eternal God, you are the source of every gift and the fountain of all blessing. Give us such joy in living and such peace in serving Christ that we may gratefully make use of all your blessings and joyfully seek our risen Lord in everyone we meet. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. From Romans chapter 12. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Do not claim to be wiser than you are. Do not repay anyone evil for evil, but take thought for what is noble in the sight of all. If it is possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. It was the second Sunday of Advent. It was a tradition to gather the children around the Advent wreath, share a story, and then have them help in lighting the candles. And this particular year, we had gone away from the traditional words of the Advent season, and on the second Sunday we were talking about harmony. Now, Minnie, bless her soul, was at that time in her early 80s and played the piano for the children's opening, and along with the organist at church played the piano. She was at the bench and had agreed to help with the children's time. She played the cello in the Pittsburgh Symphony in her younger days, and she had this wonderful, beautiful cello that she brought in. And that morning she brought it into the church, and she said, "Pastor Bob, I put it in my car last night so I wouldn't forget it." You see, things for Minnie were starting to slip a little bit. And she wanted to make sure that she could do this children's time and do it well. But when I invited the children forward, Minnie stayed at the piano bench. And so I had to make my way through the kids, tap Minnie on the shoulder and say, "Come on, you're going to play your cello, right?" "Oh, yeah." And she followed me over through the kids and crept up and sat down on the chair and picked up her cello and rosined up the bow. We talked about harmony, and the little 3- and 4-year-olds' eyes were just glazing over. I turned to Minnie and I said, "Minnie, can you play us some things and talk to us a little bit about harmony?" And she began to play some notes on the cello, and even my ear knew that this wasn't good. After a moment or two, she looked at me and she said, "Pastor Bob, remember I told you I put the cello in the car last night? Well, it was cold when I brought it into church. I tuned it, and now it's warmed up after Sunday school, and it sat here for an hour, and it's all out of tune. I can't play any harmony for you." And so we told the kids that harmony was when things worked good together. And then I looked down and I said, "Who would like to help light the candles?" And a bunch of hands went up, and I looked at the front, and there were Casey and Nick. Casey, she being 5, Nick being 5 as well, had grown up there at the church and were very good friends. And their favorite game at church after Mom and Dad let them out of the pew was to play tag. They were very, very quick and very active and athletic little 5-year-olds. As they came forward, I looked to the Christmas tree that had been cut 3 or 4 weeks before and was beginning to dry, and beyond the Christmas tree to the fire extinguisher and the blanket that was laying there, and the candle that I was holding in my hand that was being lit. And I thought about all those things that could go wrong in that very moment. All that had gone wrong, all that could go wrong just now. And I handed the candle to Casey, and I said, you guys need to take turns lighting the first 2 candles. And as Casey began to lift the candle to light the candle on her side, Nick put his hand on the back of hers, and in perfect harmony, they lit both candles together. May God surprise us as we strive to live in harmonious ways in our world in these days.